Welcome first stream. Pardon the lag on the steering wheel POV. Don't have the proper camera quite yet for that. I was going to be practicing for tomorrow's race at Lime Rock. Going to give it a go with the Mercedes first, and then going to give it a go with the McLaren. I think the McLaren is going to be a little better suited for this track, but I prefer the Mercedes. We'll see how it goes. I've raced this track a few times. Once in the Mustang, which was rough. Did a couple Ferrari races and a couple Formula races. So see how it goes though. It's a pretty short, small track, especially for GT4s. But this series that I'm racing in is, look at that, is a free track series. So a lot of the free track series I've noticed are smaller tracks, more well suited for like the Mazda and the BMW, things like that. Even the Formula cars do well. I like the F4 cars. Yeah, this is, I can already tell tomorrow's race and even qualifying, it's going to be rough getting the tires warmed up on this track, especially with this car. So I definitely think the Mercedes is going to be the one for tomorrow. Yeah, haven't done this configuration yet with that little S turn there. So that's already throwing me a little off. Just trying to get these tires warmed up a bit. It feels a lot like how when I was driving the Mustang around here. See how it starts to go once we get these tires warmed up. It still feels pretty cold. There's a configuration where you got to do this little corkscrew S-turn there. That's very difficult. Especially in the Mustang, that was awful. I think the guys in the group were talking about like best lap times and stuff like that for like the really good drivers. I don't know what's considered really good. I don't know if it was pro. I doubt it's pro, but they were saying 54s, 55s lap time around here. And then he said that he had, the guy that was sharing that had mentioned that he was doing, I think he said like a 55.5, but he said that he was really sending it and he probably couldn't maintain that. So I'm hoping I can start to get in the 56s here during this practice session. We'll see how it goes. Dang, that corner's killing me. So yeah, I'm hoping I can get 56s, 57s. That guy that shared it, he's definitely one of our faster drivers in the series. I got fourth last week. No, sorry, third last week in our season opener. I think I could have fought for second, but I made some mistakes in qualifying. And I started in eighth. So I had to kind of creep my way through the field throughout the whole race, and I ended up getting third on the second to last lap. Because during the practice right before the race, I had gotten within a tenth or two of the fastest time. So I was up there in the top 2 or 3 pretty consistently that race, for practice anyway. Yeah, I'm hating that corner there. This car still doesn't feel warmed up. It feels very, it's unstable. I think this car's kind of notorious for that. It's a very loose back end, which I like that style, but I don't know if it's just gonna work out on this track. And this little hill here is pretty tricky. It's hard to go flat out, and the Formula cars is kind of crazy. You actually get off the ground, and oh, there it is again, same corner. You get off the ground in the Formula cars, so if you're not completely straightened out when you hit that hill, you'll lose it immediately. I don't think we're gonna get enough speed in these cars too, but it definitely upsets the rear end. And then in this car, it's like double that. So, all right, let me see if I can put a dang lap together here. It's an off track there, so also part of this is I want to learn where the track limits on some of these corners are. I know in some tracks, like Orton Park has this couple spots where the racing line tells you kind of a little bit off the apex there, like these corners here. But you can actually take the entire half the car over the curb, and you're not going to get an off track or a 1X or anything like that. So trying to see where the limit is on some of these corners. Finally got a clean lap in here. And just try to build from here. I mean, 8 laps in now, and I'm barely starting to feel like the tires are okay. So tomorrow's race is definitely going to be important to stay clean those first few laps. But classic iRacing, sometimes it isn't really up to you. And these other guys will try to full send it on corner 1, lap 1, and go bowling. But almost lost it there. So let's see what we got that last lap. A minute flat. I mean, that's quite a bit off the 55-second mark that another guy had mentioned, and even his 56.5. So I gotta find at least 3 seconds to stay competitive tomorrow. I honestly don't know where I'm gonna find that 3 seconds, because it's just, I don't really feel like I can find a place where I can really hit it hard on this track right now with this car anyway. Let's see. I did get a 1X on that, but I did 59. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to give the Mercedes a shot. Sorry, the McLaren. I left the foot on the pedal on that one, and you saw there the back end almost came out on that hill. I mean, I found a second on that lap. Getting a little more confident. No, I didn't actually. Still 59 there. All right, half a second up in this lap right now, but I just lost some there coming out of that. I think if I kind of short shift at the top of that hill, I'll be able to control that back end a bit, but I'm also short shifting there, so I'm also sacrificing a little speed. Still in the 59s. Not a good sign that I can't really find another couple seconds anywhere. So I just did it again. I short shifted, but I feel like I'm really sacrificing speed at the end of this straightaway. Yeah, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna give it a couple more laps here and see if I can really find a groove with this car. Otherwise, I'm gonna switch out to the McLaren. Either way, I think it's gonna be a rough start with getting the tires warmed up and everything in the race. And one thing I noticed at the first race last week was we literally had one corner. So usually in the races I've done, just like normal lobby races, get like a full lap of warm up. Kind of warm up them tires just a little bit again. But it's not perfect. But it's still better than one corner. So if we line up right about here tomorrow, Let me go straight into the front straight here with the start. Not a lot of space and time to get anything really warmed up. I've only been doing this for a couple months. I've had to take a few weeks or a couple weeks off due to some work, travel. But I would say definitely no pro. But also don't lag at the back of the field. So just slightly above average, possibly. Got a couple of Mazda series wins, and when I was first started, BMW win, and those like rookie classes. It's actually been a little while since I've gotten a win, but I've gotten a few podiums. One thing I have not been able to get under my belt though is the F4 series win. Gotten some podiums, some seconds, but for some reason that series win is eluding me. And then this season, I got the D license, so opened up a few more Formula Series. I like the Formula cars. I think, honestly, I'm probably better at GT racing in terms of my results, but I prefer Formula racing, or open wheel racing, I should say. So I did a couple of the USF 2000, I think is the vehicle itself. Done a couple of those races. Last week was at Road America. That was a pretty fun track. I'm wanting to do some of the Indy Next or the Indy Series races. I just haven't been able to catch. Well, when I've been able to get on, haven't been able to catch a race that was within a reasonable time. It's always been like a couple hours away or later in the evening, and just not able to make it. Oh, I don't know what I was thinking there. I was thinking of the corkscrew that's there. Yeah, that corner's gonna bite me in the ass. Because I'm wanting to take it that exit as tight as I can, but it's this really strict 1X in that corner. I think I'm really not finding any time here. I'm gonna do one more lap after this one. Ah, I finally found 2/10 there. Then I pull that off. All right. I think I might. I know I said 2 laps like 3 laps ago, but give it 2 more laps. See if I can find even just a little time. The fact that another guy in our series did a 56.5, it's really blowing my mind right now because I can't even hit 58 right now. Looks like my best is 59.2. This corner right here it's really tricky. Even in the other races I've done here, it looks like you want to take it flat, but I've noticed it's just slightly too tight that you can't take it flat. Got to lift. And then this seems to be the corner that's really getting me here. So looks like finally found a 10th, but still not quite a couple seconds I need. See how this lap goes. This one here is the one I'm talking about, where you really want to take it. Looks like you want to take it flat, but you just quite can't. Not in these cars anyway. I don't remember if you could in the F4 cars. Finally got that corner halfway decent. And that corner alone, almost 3/10 there. So I think that corner there is really going to make or break me tomorrow. Looks like I finally hit the 58. So I'm going to hit one more lap now that I kind of feeling a little better. I really hit it there. Almost lost it. Really pushing it now. I think sometimes when you push a little too hard, you actually lose a little speed. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Definitely the case in iRacing, I've noticed. So really kind of, yeah, I was really pushing it that lap. Well, not to the max, but more than I had been. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit out here and go load up the McLaren. See what we can do with that. We actually did before our first race last Friday, we did a kind of like a practice race. It was a fun race at the Charlotte Raceway. And I drove the BMW at that track. Actually felt really good. That BMW felt really good to drive. But I just found in the race itself, it was fun. But then I actually followed up that race doing my own separate practice session with the Mercedes, and I was actually going a second and a half, 2 seconds faster in the Mercedes than I was with the BMW at that particular track. And then last week, I can't remember the name of the track. I want to say starts with an L. It's like Lindenun, something like that. Um, that was pretty tricky. All right, here. So in the Mercedes now. See how this goes. I will say I love how this one sounds. And I'm already noticing a huge difference in that, just that first corner alone. I can take it a lot tighter. It just felt a lot more stable. Even that, flat out on that hill, first run, no warm-ups or anything. And didn't really feel like I was going to lose the back end there. Just going flat over that hill, so. And that corner there, almost flat. And again, all of this on first lap with no warm-up, no warmed-up tires, all cold tires, so. I'm already feeling like this is going to be the car for tomorrow. And as I say that, I make a mistake. So let's ease back into it here. I got a little too excited too early. It started to feel really good, so I just wanted to start sending it, but that's how you get caught out. Even in the races, that's how you get caught out. Pushing too hard too early. I know a lot of people say, don't use the racing line turned off, that it's the hindrance and stuff. I like it. I don't, as you can see, especially in that last corner there, I don't follow it to the T. I personally like to use it as a braking guide, not necessarily braking based off of what it's saying the braking point is, but I will reference a certain little arrows there on the ground. I'll reference a certain arrow as my braking point rather than the beginning of that braking point. But I mean, I've seen some other YouTubers. Oh man, I've seen some other YouTubers mention how it's not really good in terms of getting like top split type lap times. They've mentioned that it reduces your, I guess, creativity in which line is actually the most optimal, and you kind of default to what the racing line is telling you, which I can understand. That there, like I said, in that final little corner, the one that's always getting me, it's telling me to go wide and swing it in. However, I don't know, maybe it's not the fastest, but I'm feeling like when I come in tighter like this, it's, I don't know, I prefer that line. And that one was an instance where it was probably a little too tight. But I'm liking going a little bit tighter on that. Oh yeah, that felt pretty good. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be the car for tomorrow. That was nearly flat there. I lifted just slightly, but that wasn't even like a super perfect lap. It looks, I think I got a 1x or somewhat. Yeah, it's an invalid lap. But as I came across the line, I noticed it was about a 58. So I'm getting where I want to be slowly. Like I said, I think my goal is going to be around the 57s. So I think I'm getting there here with the McLaren. I think I took that a little too tight there. Didn't need to hit the curb on that one, but oh yeah, this is that was a 58.3, and I definitely think I have some time to find in some of these spots, especially that last corner on that last particular lap there. When I hit the curb, upset the car just a little bit. I had to lift up, so I think 57s, mid 57s is probably going to be manageable in qualifying. See if I can hit it here tonight. I wish I could hit that exit just a little bit tighter, but I mean, I'm sure I can. I did it again. I'm sure, and I got off. Dang it. I'm sure I can hit that exit just a little bit tighter, but that 1x on that corner is so strict that in qualifying, I'm probably going to take it a little too cautiously because our qualifying format is, I think last week was a 3-lap, 10-minute format, which is pretty standard. Usually it's a 2-lap, 8-minute, I think. But learning from last week when I messed up my first lap, so then I had to be pretty cautious in my second lap so that I could get a lap time in. And that's what caused me to start from 8th when I should have gotten a lap in, a decent lap in, and then try to push it on my second lap to, that's what I should have done, but didn't quite work out that weekend. Still ended up being a great race. It's good type. It's very clean racing. I haven't had a single incident in the practice race and then real race that I've had last week with anybody out there. So it is probably a lower level. Like I'm not quite competing at the top level yet. I think when I'm doing lobby races, I'm in the 3rd split. It's like probably like the best I'm gonna find myself in right now. And my I rating for GTs, I want to say it's like 1600. And then for Formula, it's like 1400. So not great for Formula, obviously. I think it's 1500 that you start out with. So I've had a rough go at it the last few races in Formula. So I'm right there kind of maintaining that initial I rating that you get. I'll have a few good races where I'll gain a chunk of I rating, and then I'll just have a atrocious race, whether that's me or get taken out. So, but in terms of our season and the guys that are in it, by no means am I the fastest, but I've been pretty consistent in the top 5 for sure. Like I said, practice last week I was competing up there in top 2, 3, so and ended up finishing 3rd in the race. So it's kind of a beginner level league, but I think it's it's my first league I've joined. So definitely a good first league, but it's very clean, which I think I like the most about it. So not finding much time right now. Had that 58.3 and then really thought I was going to find some more time, but not quite happening right now. Don't necessarily know where I'm losing it right now. That's one thing I've noticed is when I'm racing by myself, even in like races and lobbies, when I'm kind of in no man's land between other cars and stuff, I find it hard to really judge and guide how hard to push it, how late to brake. That's probably where the difference is made between competitive and hobbyists. But in settings like this, I find it very difficult to find where that max is, because I tend to use other cars as a reference, as you know, how much deeper do I brake, just that little bit, and how soon do I get off on the gas out of the corner based off of them. So I find myself driving faster. It might be natural, I'm not too sure, but I definitely find myself driving just that bit faster when I'm chasing someone. Even if they're off in the distance a little bit, there's that kind of motivation to catch them. Because right now I'm pretty consistently in the high 58s and I'm not really finding much time. So in terms of a win tomorrow, it's probably not looking too great. Maybe hope for some mistakes, things like that. But I've noticed the top 2 or 3 guys in the series, they're very consistent, not making big mistakes, costly mistakes. So it's really about how quality is going to go and how much can I, how close can I stick with them. Hopefully force them into a mistake or pressure them into a mistake, but not likely. So based off my times right now, I'm kind of hoping for a podium, obviously. Maybe even in the 4th, definitely top 5. Top 5 is definitely doable, I think. Also trying to find the right gears in these corners. Trying to learn where that point is. Like in this corner here, the Mercedes was definitely first gear, but and the McLaren hitting second, hitting fifth gear out of this corner. I was barely able to hit fourth, keep fourth in that corner in the Mercedes. So this car also tends to rev a bit higher. The gear ratios are quite a bit different in this car versus the Mercedes, so you can't use that as a reference point, the Mercedes as a reference point for the proper gear. I think here in this corner, I'm probably losing a little too much time on entry, and I try to hit a little hard there on exit. It cost me a 1x. Still wasn't enough to get in that 57s. Give it a couple more laps and then probably call it for practice tonight. We do have 20-minute practice prior to the race. And then we have the race, or qualifying, like I said, 3-lap, 10-minute session. And then the race itself, which I can't quite remember. I think it was 25-minute races. A little early on that shift there. I'm going to give it one more lap. Don't feel like that was a good lap to end it on. Really sent it on that one there. And the first few corners felt really good, but then I'm looking at my delta and 2/10 down. Just don't know where to find the time. Oh, and then I blow it there. That corner is really going to kill me tomorrow. I can feel it. I was also really trying to push it, make up that 2/10, but not quite. So maybe in qualifying I can hit low 58s, but definitely the McLaren for tomorrow. I was consistently in the 58s, the mid to high 58s, so I think that's where it's going to be. We'll be back on live stream tomorrow for the race itself. Probably didn't get anybody live watching, but that's okay. If you do watch the recording afterwards, I definitely appreciate it. This is all new territory for me, so thanks for joining in.